Econoalchemist.
Imagine if freedom tech were the front line of defense between totalitarianism and a free society. I think that it is. I'm going to show you why in this presentation. The idea comes down to this basic premise that the laws of math are stronger than the laws of man. All the violence in the world doesn't change the laws of math. This is how we protect our freedoms. It's not a matter of don't tread on me. It's that you can't tread on me. That's the point. If you take anything from this presentation, I want it to be that you're going to support open source developers, because without open source developers, there is no freedom tech. And without freedom tech, there is no free society. It's not a matter of passively enjoying our rights. We have to actively defend them. I like to speak my mind. Anyone else here like to speak their mind? Can I get a show of hands? Who likes to speak their mind? Come on, every hand in this room should be up. Do we live in a free society or do we not? You shouldn't have to be in fear of retaliation for speaking what's on your mind. What about transacting freely? Who here likes to take their hard-earned money and buy the things that they want? Interact voluntarily with the economy around them? I know I do. Own property. Does anyone here own property? Do you have to be afraid that it's going to get confiscated from you? It's a free society that enables you to own that property without fear of confiscation. What about privacy? Have you guys seen any of those weird, long-haired privacy advocates walking around in sunglasses here? How about you, this inconspicuous gentleman? Do you like privacy? Do you have something to hide? No. No, you don't. But privacy is normal. When you use a public toilet, do you close the stall door? That's privacy at work. It's normal. It's our ability to selectively reveal information about ourselves. That's what privacy is. What about defending yourselves? If someone wants to do physical harm to you or your loved ones, do you want to stop them in their tracks? I want to be able to. Those are your God-given rights. And those are the rights that every human on this planet should enjoy unrestricted. That's what makes a free society. But we need to ensure that free societies don't descend into totalitarianism. Under totalitarianism, there's retaliation for speaking freely. There's economic restrictions, confiscation by force of your private property, warrantless surveillance, you have no privacy. Unarmed civilians, you can't defend yourself. We've been shackled by our conveniences. The technologies that we use to have instant communication means that we can be shut off with the flick of a switch. Our faster transactions means that our bank accounts can be arbitrarily frozen. We're constantly connected, but it's a two-way communication channel. It means we can be constantly surveilled. Walled gardens, KYC, that means permissioned systems that you only get access to if you're compliant. We've traded a lot of our liberties for a little bit of safety. Sorry, let me go back one slide. I forgot freedom tech. The freedom tech is what enables us to prevent free society from descending into totalitarianism because it has very unique attributes. It's free and open source. The end user can inspect it, modify it, and use it however they want. It's permissionless. They don't have to ask anybody. They can just do things. It provides asymmetric advantages, like encryption, for example. It's really easy to encrypt something, but computationally nearly impossible to break that. It's censorship resistant. It does what it's supposed to do when it's supposed to do it, and it doesn't matter what the laws of man say. And it's decentralized. It's easy to contribute to, it's easy to find, but it's really hard to stop. Freedom tech is what ensures our free society does not descend into totalitarianism. There's a recent example out of the EU. This was just at the beginning of this month. The EU unveiled their dystopian plan for a dark future, and central to that plan was digital identification. They're doing this under the guise of combating misinformation. You see Google joining the ranks. They recently announced that if developers want to submit applications to the Play Store, they have to upload government-issued ID. And they even took it a step further. If you want to load applications onto your stock Google device, now you have to do it from the Play Store. You can't do it from alternative sources. Twitter's doing it in some countries. Users have to upload identification from their governments in order to interact with the platform. But combating misinformation is just code speak for attacking free speech, suppression of dissenting opinions, conditional access, and retaliation for speaking freely. Additionally, this KYC creates these honeypots that hackers and three-letter agencies can go after, putting users in further danger. Luckily, we have decentralized protocols like Nostr where users can own their own identification. They don't have to share that with anyone. Self-hosting with tools like Start9 OS means that you can have the same convenient services you loved safely stored on your own devices. De-Googled devices using Graphene and the F-Droid repository ensure that you can load whatever applications you want. It's your hardware, should be your rules. Use encrypted comms with tools like Signal, Tutanota. This is how we defend free speech. Do you all remember the Canadian trucker convoy during COVID? People stood up for their bodily autonomy. The Canadian government started coming down on them, seizing their assets, seizing their bank accounts, even going after people who had donated to the truckers. This is all done under the guise of protecting democracy. That's code speak for divide and conquer society into smaller minority groups by discrediting and demonizing those that are dissenting upon what the government is trying to enforce. They do it with labels like calling them criminals, extremists, bigot, anti-Semite, racist, domestic terrorist. That's the justification they use to bring the full force of the state's violence down upon them, to lock them in cages and steal their property. Bitcoin's different though. Bitcoin's not confiscatable if it's done right. And in its most simple form, Bitcoin is software. Software is code. Code is speech. And I, for one, stand for unrestricted free speech. I will transact with whom I want, when I want, in whatever amount I want, and I will not be restricted. I can obtain Bitcoin permissionlessly by mining it. I can use Ashigaru Wallet on my mobile device to interact with it, Sparrow Wallet on my desktop. I can connect to the Bitcoin network with my Ronin Dojo node. I can even do peer-to-peer collaborative transactions and CoinJoin my Bitcoin to gain anonymity on a public blockchain. That's how we ensure our transactional freedoms stay intact. Out of China recently, this was a good one. This was at the beginning of this month too. There was a data leak that showed the tech companies that built the Great Firewall of China were selling that technology to other governments around the world. This is how China censors and limits the information to billions of people in their nation. When you hear internet regulations, that's just code speak for attacking journalists, activists, whistleblowers, dissidents. It's retaliation for the crime of sharing information. It's anti-free market. It disrupts business and trade. It skews reality. It's internet censorship. It's surveillance. It's controlling access to information. Luckily, we have tools like Tor, WireGuard, Mullvad to help circumvent access controls. They help prevent stalking. They help prevent identity theft. And Tails helps if an intruder gains physical access to your devices. This is how we defend property in an increasingly digitized world. My boy's Samurai Wallet. privacy advocates. They were arrested last year, charged with conspiracy to commit money laundering, conspiracy to operate an unlicensed money transmitting business, facing upwards of $200 million in fines and 25 years in prison initially. Their crime? They enabled anonymity on a public blockchain. They don't want individuals to have that freedom. That was their crime, and they twisted the laws to go after them, militarized raids, kicked in their doors and arrested them, threw them in cages, seized all their assets. The state came down on them with the full force of their violence. Non-custodial wallets are not money transmitters. The devs never touched anyone else's money, never had custody, never had control. Devs are not responsible for end users' conduct. We don't go after gun manufacturers when some psychopath comes out of a crowd and shoots Charlie Kirk in the neck. Why are we going after software developers? Because some weirdo wanted to launder money using the technology. That's not their fault. Right now, they took a plea bargain. They're facing 5 years. Their sentencing will be in November, so watch the news for that. They had to pay $6 million in fines. Protecting privacy devs is how privacy tools keep getting built. And as Samurai Wallet themselves would say, privacy is a human fight. Without privacy, there is no freedom. And it's groups like p2prights.org that ensure privacy developers have access to legal defense when they need it. In Colorado, you can't 3D print a gun anymore. One day it was perfectly legal to 3D print guns in Colorado. The next day, it was illegal. That's what I call the pendulum swinging. The pendulum swings, and one day you go from being an upstanding citizen to the next day, you're labeled as a criminal. Once that label's put on you, the state is completely justified in coming down upon you with the full force to kick in your door, put you in handcuffs, throw you in a cage, and steal all your property. When you hear common sense gun laws, that's code speak for more burdens and restrictions for law-abiding citizens while doing nothing to stop criminals who don't follow the laws anyways. We have groups like Deterrence Dispensed and their catalog that ensure anyone has access to self-defense. Oh, I got ahead of myself, I'm sorry. The trajectory. All governments trend toward totalitarianism, eroding your rights along their descent. There is evil that wants to suppress the truth, confuse the masses, abolish private property, and make you dependent on a nanny state to exert complete control over every aspect of your life. The technology has been weaponized to these ends for surveilling you, censoring you, and controlling you. You are being bombarded with psyops to usher in this totalitarianism, psychological warfare to make you think it's okay to live in the pod, eat the bugs, take the guns, change your gender, apologize for being a white man, reduce the carbon, wear the mask, get the vaccine. They want you living in fear. That's how they control you. But fear not. The truth will set you free. I, for one, reject that dystopia and refuse to stand by while the free society that I love descends into totalitarianism. I'm not changing these slides, someone else is. Go back. Guys, come on. Well, that picture of me and my son on the roof, we were setting up a Blockstream satellite so that we could download the Bitcoin blockchain without the internet. My wife took that picture, and I was explaining to my son that the question's not who's going to let us, but who's going to stop us. I'll end it there. Thank you. These are the open source projects you should be supporting. And if you value the free society that you live in, then ensure that your kids can enjoy it too by supporting these developers today. Thank you.